Hi, I'm Hisatsu5, and this is my review over the Cold Steel Spike Tanto. The cord you see here, what I have tied on here, is actually a Colombian River knife and tool design carry system. I forgot what it was called, but it comes with a black steel bead chain. This don't come with a knife. But not here to talk about the carry system, here to talk about the knife. First of all, the sheath. Well, I guess that is the carry system, but it retains fairly well. But when I've carried this before in the past, it has fell out. I don't know why. It takes a fairly good amount of pressure to open it, but you know, it's fallen out on me before. I've been in Walmart walking around, and next thing I know, I hear this clanking noise. I look down, my knife's on the ground. That's not a place you want to be at, you know. First of all, it's weird, you know. People kind of stare at you funny if the knife like this just falls out of your clothes. It's kind of awkward. Secondly, it can damage your blade. I haven't solved that mystery yet, because as you can see here, it's not coming out. I'm shaking it pretty hard, but for some reason when I've been wearing it, it would fall out. I don't know if it's just friction between clothes and stuff pulling at it, but it's happened to me. I usually carry this under the armpit. I don't like carrying it around the neck, because if you do, it kind of tends to have a footprint. If you're familiar with concealed carry, you know that if you're carrying a concealed weapon, if it has a footprint, then it's not concealed and you can still get in trouble. So this has a footprint if you wear it around your neck, unless you have like really heavy clothes on. So I wear it under the armpit. It blends in very well, and you know, it's fairly easy to get to for a last ditch knife. Let's look at the blade itself. One more thing about the sheath. One of my friends was being kind of stupid, and this knife, like I said, it retains fairly well, although it has fallen out on me. He decided it would be a good idea to let me get my magnifying glass. You see that right there? That's where the knife goes in. Right there was where the blade's facing. He decides to place his thumb right there, and then he decides to pull on the knife, and he was surprised when the blade started coming out and cutting him. It cut him to the bone. It was a really bad cut, and really deep. So yes, this knife will cut. Prime example right there. But just make sure when you're taking this out, either just grab it like this and pull, or if you want to use your thumb, you can break off on this side. But watch out for that. That will cut you good. Anyways, the knife is a very thick stock. You can see right there. There's tip to tang. The tang is the same thickness as the blade itself. That is 5.57 millimeters, I believe, right there. Very sturdy. Like I said, this will cut. I've cut some stuff with it just because it was the knife that I had on me at the time. I usually try to carry another knife, a primary knife, and not use this one that much, because it's a last ditch knife, and it just don't have that much belly for cutting with. It's mostly a stabbing knife. If you stab with it, you have to use your thumb, or you have to do what's called palm loading, and then you can grab it like that, and that makes it where you won't slip. This, without palm loading, you can probably stab with it, thrust with it, and you'll probably be alright because of this little notch right here, but I still prefer palm loading it, or even holding it like that and punching with it. This is the tanto point. I thought it would only be well, this is the, I guess you'd call it, Americanized tanto point, but this is what most people think of as a tanto. And I thought it would be the best design for a thrusting knife. It's just straight, slender. Starts out with a very thin point right here, and then it comes down to the occult right there, or that secondary point, and it kind of makes a water wound channel. And it's been, in my experience, a really tough knife. Haven't had to use it on any living thing, thank God, but you know, I've played around with it. That is the oh yeah, it is 440 Sub-Zero quench steel, so it's not like a very fancy steel, but you don't need a fancy steel with these kind of knives because you're not going to be cutting with them that much. Let's see, it's balanced kind of right there. Very lively in the hands too. But there was the Cold Steel Spike Tanto. I'm Satsu 5, and I'm out.